As we wrap up 2023, I thought it would be important to do a bit of a health check and take some time today to talk about the biggest problem with Magic the Gathering. And no, it's probably not the one you're thinking of, though I guarantee we will talk about the one you're thinking of in today's video. With the product lull of the holiday season, it's really fun to kind of look back on the state of Magic as a whole. And when you think about it, at the end of 2023, where we sit as of the recording of this video, we are in a much better place than we were in 2022. At the end of 2022, sets were absolutely cratered. We were not buying boxes even on the secondary market or at our local game stores. And frankly, the boxes that we were buying were not doing well. We were having far too many Amazon dumps. The products were coming out fast and furious, and the price of these products were tanking almost as fast as they were hitting the shelves. And that's not to say that hasn't happened with some products in 2023, but overall we've seen a much healthier ecosystem. And it's statements like that, like saying, hey, at the end of 2023, Magic's better than it was at the end of 2022. Statements like that often have my comment section and anyone who finds me on social media claiming that I'm some kind of Magic the Gathering shill or Wizards of the Coast secret operative. And you can check this channel. There's no Wizards of the Coast ambassadorship to be found here. I'm just a guy that likes his game and always tries to find something positive to say. But if you dig around the channel, you will see I call out problems as I see them. Famously, I called the set booster box for Commander Masters a bastardization of what is probably the most community-friendly product. And with that in mind, I do want to tackle the biggest problem in Magic the Gathering today. And it's not the ones that we often talk about. To start off with those, it's actually not the price of the product. And I know this is going to be an elephant in the room, and hear out this part of the conversation. The price of Magic the Gathering as a whole is a problem, but it's not the dollar amount stapled on the side of the box so much. And that's hard for me to say. As someone who would like Magic boxes to just be worth what they always were, $100 gets you a box. That would be a perfect world, but it's 2023 and we don't live there anymore. And the data shows that our community is almost always willing to spend their hard-earned money, even on a more expensive box, when they find the box to be a good product. It's fun to play with. It's something that we enjoy. We don't mind spending a couple extra bucks. And that's going to be really important here as we release the Play Booster Box. I have some news about the Play Booster Box later in this video. Make sure you stick around for that. But things like the Set Booster Box price increase up to $120, the Draft Booster Box increase, and even collector boosters being expensive products still have sat well with our community no matter what we say in the comments section on YouTube videos. The data shows we still keep buying them. But I may have a major problem with the price with the Magic the Gathering, don't get me wrong. I wish it was cheaper, I really do. But my big problem with price when it comes to Magic the Gathering is that the margins are in the wrong spot. The ecosystem that we've spent the better part of 30 years building, our distribution to local game store, and yet this is not an argument of whether or not distribution is necessary. That's not this conversation. But the point being, you're in my local game store can't make $1 off Magic the Gathering. And in fact, they're turning to lesser known card games to try to make some of that money back. Things like Flesh and Blood and the Sorcery trading card game are popping up in local communities. And while they're not exploding or taking over Magic or anything, you are seeing local game stores selling fewer boxes to make a higher margin and supporting some of those games. So I do predict that this model for Magic the Gathering can't stand, and those games aren't necessarily a threat to Magic the Gathering. To use Flesh and Blood as an example, the most recent set sold 251 boxes on pre-release on TCG Player, while a Magic the Gathering pre-release will sell 4, 5, or even 6,000 boxes. So they're not like in direct competition, but I do expect Magic pricing to shift somewhat in 2024 in some way, because indie TCGs aside, the model just cannot keep up with itself. The model is going to consume itself. But price is not even my biggest problem with Magic the Gathering, nor is it the number of products coming out. I mean, look, you and I as consumers, we're getting better at leaving things on the shelf. Not every Magic the Gathering product is for you. Some Magic products are more collectible. Some have amazing chase cards. I mean, heck, look at the collector boosters of the last two sets. The Jurassic Park emblem foils and the confetti foils from Wilds of Eldraine are not only holding great value, but I don't know if anyone else has noticed this, they're rare. They have rare cards in the collector boosters that are hard to come by and extremely expensive. That was not recently the case for Magic the Gathering. But this is not even my problem. And talking about the collector booster, the number of variants, not even my problem with 9, 10, 11, 12 different variants in the same pack. I do think those things need to change. They need to change for the health of our game and the long-term sustainability for our community, and also sanity, like for content creators like me. Like, come on, let's cut down on the number of variants that we put in these boxes. But yeah, these are problems, but they're not Magic's biggest problem. Magic's biggest problem is something that I hadn't noticed until I started the Data Vault project, and something that you might not know if you're new to the channel. And hi, if you are, make sure you click that sub button, because we're racing to 7 freaking K. We're almost there already. I can't believe it. I can't believe we're almost there. Hit that sub button. But what we did is we started a project where we track sold listings for sealed product from Magic the Gathering sets on TCG Player. And how this benefits us is, as TCG Player time goes on, or as time goes on the platform, you lose these sales. They fall off. You can't click see sales and they all show up. It only shows you like 90 days of history. So we make sure to scrape them all off. We throw them in the vault and we see how a set performs over a larger period of time than 90 days, which when game's been around for 30 years, I think that might be a little bit important. But something that jumped off the charts to me was that Magic products just stopped selling after release. And some of those other indie TCGs I mentioned as well have the same issue. When it comes to how we as consumers engage with products or buy products or buy cards or play Magic, it is very clear that up to release, we get hyped, we go crazy, we love to open a lot of these boxes, but post-release, we see a massive fall off. And at first, I thought, oh, this is clearly the Magic the Gathering rapid release cycle. We've got something new coming next month. Of course we fell off. We want to spend our money on that, and then we got to spend our money on that, and then we got to spend our money on that. There's no time to go back and spend our money on stuff we already did. But I think it's more than that, because we see these indie TCGs and other trading card games follow in suit. Now, there is one trading card game, the Pokemon trading card game, with a set like Paradox Rift. If I remember, I'll put it on the screen. If not, tune in to the live stream this Friday. We'll go over the data. This set is just constantly selling. It's selling thousands of boxes post-release in short windows. It's incredible, and those boxes aren't sold at healthy margins. They're sold very cheaply, but it is doing what is meant to be done when it comes to getting us to pull back in, and it's succeeding where Magic is failing. So in 2024, I expect to see Wizards do more things like March of the Machine Aftermath, like the Complete Bundle. I expect to see them do more things like Lord of the Rings Special Edition, because all of these things had all these releases had a very common theme in my mind, and it jumped off the page at me as soon as I was following the information as to how we bought products, how we bought Magic. And that was, Wizards was trying to get us to re-engage with the, parent set to the child release. For Lord of the Rings Special Edition, it was the original Lord of the Rings release, and we did see a small bump in Lord of the Rings sales when Lord of the Rings Special Edition dropped. They wanted to do this with Aftermath, a small subset to try to close up on some of this story, maybe make you remember how much fun you had opening March of the Machine or something like that, and we didn't see that. Like, March of the Machine Aftermath might have been the worst release of the year. There's one card worth any money in it, and the rest of it, like, you can't get it and play it anywhere. It's like Commander legal. It's very confusing. That was a failure. But the Complete Bundle might be a candidate for product of the year. And again, make sure you're subscribed. We are going to do the best and worst products of the year on the channel to close out the year. That's going to be a fun one. But the Complete Bundle did succeed and got us to keep buying Phyrexia All Be One, gave us a product we could be excited about, and I expect Wizards of the Coast to continue to try to replicate models like that to keep us coming back to some of these sets that have been released. Because while they enjoy a big payday on release, like, listen, all of that product is still out there, and it's no secret, they still have it in their warehouse. Look at Amazon sometimes. We clearly know the product exists, so they have to make us care about it in some way. And if you're in the comment section saying, I don't care about any Magic the Gathering product, like, listen, I know that you probably don't, and I respect that opinion, but I love Magic the Gathering. I do care about Magic products. I like the game, I like the releases, and I like following along and playing with the cards. So, I don't know, I guess we're just different in that arena. Not Magic Arena, but this arena. You understand what I'm saying. But that's the big issue, is the fact that a Magic set comes out and we play with it, and then we do the Andy's toy meme and Woody, and we drop it in the trash, and then it's just kind of gone to the wayside forever. I expect them to put a lot of effort in 2024. This is my prediction. If you stuck around this long, you get my tinfoil hat. Between that and fixing the model, where a game store can make $1 or $2 off Magic the Gathering, are two big points of pain that I believe Wizards of the Coast are going to have to aim to fix for things to continue in a healthy direction. Because don't get me wrong, Wizards of the Coast said, no, we print the right amount of product, you just don't buy the right amount of product. And then what did they do? They printed less product. They're like, oh no, everything is, it doesn't matter if it's collectible, it's a trading card game. Then they made serialized cards and hard to get cards in collectibles. So we rag on Wizards of the Coast a lot, and they do a lot not so great, let's call it. But they also realize they're not dumb. They realize when things aren't going well. They realize when things need to be fixed. And if this model that we've built 30 years is destroyed, built 30 years building is destroyed, I think we're going to find ourselves in a bad space. But most importantly, if we continue to buy a set and then drop it off and just never touch it again, well, they're going to lose a lot of equity for things like remastered sets, for reprinting these cards, because if we don't have any fond attachments to these products, it makes it pointless to reprint them or remaster them and try to pull us back in. But in my opinion, that's Magic's biggest problem. I expect to see them try to solve it in 2024, but most importantly, I do want to know what you think. Do you think this is Magic the Gathering's biggest issue? Do you think one of the other ones I mentioned is way bigger and way more important? Or is there something we didn't talk about that's the big problem? Let me know in the comments section below. At the end of the year here, we got a ton of fun stuff to talk about. So if you haven't shared a Hometown TCG video on a social media platform before, there's never been a better day. Share this video, because not only does it make me smile when I'm scrolling through my socials and I see it shared, but listen, it helps get us to 7K. And then once we get to 7K, it's onward and upward. We're going farther than I could have possibly imagined. Oh, as far as the play boosters, it's time to tell you, I am going to start opening a limited number of box opening slots for people. Channel members preferred, so if you're a channel member, not only do you get exclusive content, we're going to get box openings offered to you. Your channel membership is going to be discounted in that price, and I'm always going to try to give a favorable market price for every single Magic release. I will have the boxes early, as I've partnered with game stores around me, so I'll have them at game store time. I will not ship until obviously we're able to ship product, because that is the rule, but we will get your box openings done and open. I think that's going to be a ton of fun. So let me know if that's something that would interest you in the comments section below. Thank you so much for hanging out. Until next time, you guys know me. My name is Josh, and well, we'll see you around. All right, goodbye.